Hi and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the cloud. So how does the cloud actually work? Not those windy clouds or weather clouds. I want to talk about computing clouds. Like the things you use in basically every application that you have today. But the first question we have to ask to get to know the cloud is what actually is the cloud? Well, first let me clarify. There is not only one cloud, but there are many, like a huge amount of clouds. Like everyone can have their own cloud if they want to. And well, as I am myself talking about the cloud or the cloud, I thought it'd be good to clarify that there is not only one cloud, but there are many, many clouds. Okay, so the next thing we have to know is a cloud is basically a pool of resources available through a network. So you can think of it as a virtual machine or something like a computer that is running somewhere on the planet, and you can access this computer through your, I don't know, browser or something. And that's basically clouds. So in a cloud is comprised of many, many computing resources, for example, many databases, and they are pulled together so that you can have a huge database, like one huge database. And this database you can access through applications, browsers, or directly, I don't know. And that is the basic core concept of the cloud. And another huge concept that is coming with the cloud is pay-per-use. So before you paid for, I don't know, you paid for a service, and it didn't matter how much of the service you used. You had a cap, and if you used less, it doesn't matter. You still had to pay the amount of money it would cost for you to use the cap or the maximum amount of resources you wanted to have. And with the cloud or cloud computing, it was more and more possible for like vendors or for the companies that made the cloud available to to have the user pay only for what they use. So now you are not paying a fixed price for a huge range of resources, but you are paying exactly for what you use. So you say you want to use, I don't know, 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, and then you only pay for 100 gigabytes. And if you pay less, you can toggle it down. If you pay more, you can up your gigabyte, your volume, and pay more. But it's not like that you have to say, okay, I want to have plan A, which is 5 gigabytes. I want to have plan B, which is 100, or I want to have plan C, which is 500, and there is no possible ground between this. You can variably just manage your storage yourself. And that is used in the cloud not only for storage, but for application, for sessions, for everything in the cloud. And that is a huge advantage when using the cloud. So now that we know the basics of the cloud, I want to show you the infrastructure in a most basic way. So that is a graphic built by me, and here you can see how the cloud looks like. So you have this huge cloud which is in the middle on the top, and this cloud is backed by, I don't know, databases, applications, computers. So the cloud consists of those. So you have, for example, you have a database cloud where where you can where you can store information, data, images, whatever. Or you have an application cloud where users can access an application which is completely in the cloud, and they can access it everywhere, every time, and everything is running in the internet basically. Or you have like computing resources where you have massive computers or extremely powerful computers bundled together in one cloud, so users can use them, for example, doing machine learning models on them, running them there, having huge computing tasks and stuff like this. And well, on the right you can see the end user, who is just accessing the cloud through the internet and can use everything on their desktop or on their mobile phone or wherever they want. So that is another cool thing. So now if you have an application that earlier in the century or earlier in computer times only could run on a computer, like a desktop computer, now can also run on a mobile phone, because it doesn't actually run on the mobile phone but in the cloud. So the mobile phone, or with your mobile phone, you are just accessing the cloud resources of this application, and doing all the tasks are all done in the cloud. On your mobile phone, almost nothing is done from this application. And that makes it extremely flexible to work with clouds or another applications. Right, and now the final question is, where do we actually use clouds or the cloud? So there are famous storage options like iCloud, Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox, which probably most of you are using in some form or another. Some of those are for free, some of those cost immediately, some of those cost if you want to have more storage, but all have the same concept behind. They are all cloud storages. That's just by they are always accessible, they are everywhere accessible, and yeah. Another thing, or with the iCloud you can actually see the name that it's a cloud. And that's what I wanted to say to this point. The next point is, there are applications that we use in our everyday life, like Microsoft 365, Google Stack, or the Google Stack, which includes Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slides, and stuff like this. And more of those applications are moving to the cloud just because they are more accessible in the cloud for the end user. And like, for example, a few years ago, if you had a Word document on your computer, you were working on it like a master's thesis or something like this, and you were working on it for a month, and then suddenly your computer dies and your work is completely away. It's crashed, it's trash. You can't access it anymore, it's gone. With clouds, it's easier, because if your computer crashes and you are using it in a cloud, the cloud always makes snapshots and backups, so you can access it from another computer, just like the way you saved it the last time. So yeah, your data is better saved, I would say. But always keep in mind, the companies behind always have access to your data. Right, and then the last thing is that businesses have many more applications that are used in the cloud. Many businesses are moving away from usual servers and are going into the cloud just because it's more flexible. And I don't want to show you the business part here, because most of you watching are not a business, you are private people. And if you are interested, you can just Google business cloud applications, and you see, like, I don't know, 1 million cloud applications that a business can use in the cloud. Yeah, so that was my take on the cloud. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments, and see you next video. Bye.